and then I'll come up in the box and say, "Hey, ladies," and then I'll jump right back out. But yeah,
That's
thank
cool.
you, bro.
Oh,
Thank you,
bro, anytime,
thank you,
man.
my brother. Thank you.
Oh
Okay, I'm
yeah.
gonna jump on this, and I'll see you in the chat.
All right, bro.
Okay, bro. Later.
Later. Did I pause that? What's up? What's up? What's up? Women Wednesday, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. It is time for the women to turn us out today. Look at that, Miss Joanne. I'm so happy. You were so excited to jump up here. You were so awesome.
Hey,
How you doing this evening?
I'm pretty good. I love a good debate.
Debate?
Yeah.
No, we praise women.
No, 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 not in a bad way. When I say
Oh,
debate, I don't mean like a
oh,
battle.
okay,
Exchange of
okay.
thoughts and feelings.
Oh, that is super awesome. Well, let me tell you, tonight is all about you. So
All right.
I get a chance to learn amazing things about you and then how much you love yourself. I love that.
Okay. I like that too.
You like that too? You like that
Yeah.
too? Let's give the women here, additional women, a couple of more minutes because I just turned this on a couple of minutes ago. Y'all are so awesome. Asia, how you doing this evening?
Hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Oh, we
Hey.
doing good. We doing good. We doing good.
Yeah, I finally made it on time. I missed the last one. I'm gonna set my alarm for Wednesday.
Oh, I appreciate that. Let me tell you, I love it when the women show up on Wednesday because you all have the most vulnerable conversation and it's so open and I learn so much. Matter of fact, my bestie is kind of sort of salty at y'all because normally she's the one spoiling me with life lessons. And then you all been spoiling me so much that she's like, "You not talking to me." I said, "I do talk to you, bestie. It's just that I'm growing so much with all these amazing women on TikTok." And so, but she's so happy for me. I was supposed to, oh yeah, I got to send this to somebody. I have to send this to me. And then I have somebody else who wants to see this. Oh my, why am I doing that? I don't want to do that. I want to do share. And then I come over here and then I share it on my personal account. And then I can send it from my personal account to somebody else. Y'all, this is a task and a half. So, how has y'all week been so far? Typically, I call today Wonderful Wednesday because it's in the middle of the week, which means we have conquered the first half of the week. Now it's time to reflect at the rest of the week of the amazing job that we've done this week.
Yep. You guys hear me? Because my phone keeps going in and
Yes,
out.
ma'am.
Yes, we can
Okay.
hear
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm from the country, so I say yes, ma'am, a lot. So how
Oh,
do
that's
I
fine. That's fine. You say, ma'am. That's fine.
okay. It's some so I'm new to the East Coast. I'm new to the East Coast. This is my third year on this side. I'm in Florida. I'm from Dallas.
Hmm.
And I would say ma'am to some women and ooh, they would let me have it.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And
I'm sorry. One. You can call me ma'am if you like.
okay, I so much appreciate that. I so much appreciate that. Um Waiting on it. People typically wait about 3 to 5 minutes before they start coming in. At about 5 minutes, they start coming through. And then they come in. Typically people are coming from somebody else live and then come over here.
Are you
Uh
letting me guys? Are you letting me men in?
no men tonight. Men come up on Monday night. So we do
Oh,
men on Monday with the same topics. I have 3 topics at night.
okay.
Women on Wednesday. Now Thursday we do men and women together in the box because we show how the positivity works together.
But you know what? Something that I want to say, even with a topic like this, you would be amazed how many females do not see eye to eye on this topic because people got different versions of respecting themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Some stuff as having being respectful, and other stuff as not respectful. So
Yep.
you got a clash of personalities when it comes to quote unquote self respect.
Exactly. I mean, I'm still improving my self-respect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, still to this day, I learned, oh no, I learned this week how disrespectful I've been to myself because
Mm-hmm.
I've been in the same career field 29 years. I
Mm-hmm.
honestly take that lightly. And
Really?
so we had an incident at work and it didn't click that okay, the reason why 90% of your team respond the way they are because this is their less than fifth time experiencing this and they finally got a team that they like and it broke us up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is my 20th plus time going through this and it's typical. And I'm more so like, well, I have a different perspective. And I was like, wait a minute. That's why my perspective is so different. Because really, 90% of my team, I've been in IT longer than they've been on this earth.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wait a minute, they looking at me for directions that I didn't even cross my mind or anything. And my buddy told me a couple of weeks ago, share with me, he was like, D, we're the one that we used to go to and ask questions to. That's us. We're 50. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh wow, bro, ain't that part never crossed my mind.
Well, when we do start it, I definitely have a reaction. I know you want to wait for a few people to come in, but I definitely know what I want to say in reference to the benefits of having self-respect. And this is
Okay,
what I teach my daughters, you know.
awesome. Well, we have three questions. We have three questions.
Oh, okay.
And so they all tie in together.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, but we can go ahead and jump in. The three of us can begin to talk. Really, majority of it's going to be done with you all. And
Okay.
then as additional people begin to come in, they can join into the conversation. What are your thoughts on that?
Sounds good. What about you,
Okay.
Adrian?
Sounds good to me.
And so, what it is, the benefits of self respect. So, this month, we're doing self respect. We did what self respect is the first week. The second week, we did what is it? We're doing benefits this week. We did what is self respect. After that, the second was that quick. What is self respect? Okay, it's gonna come back to me. My ADHD kicking in. And then we're doing the benefits this week. I am so mad at myself. And what it is what it was for the third week. It's the benefits of self-respect. And then one of the benefits is which means there are multiple impacts. I get fussed at because a lot of my questions are loaded because I understand people will read something and take off. And sometimes we need to slow down because what we read may not be what we read.
True.
And so I'm asking, what are the impacts, the multiple things of having self respect? Like, how does that work on your life?
Well, if I can go first, for me,
I love the enthusiasm. Come on.
I think it raises your standards.
Mm-hmm.
I teach my daughters that when you have self-respect, you're not going to settle because what you think of yourself determines what you expect from others.
Yep. I totally agree with that.
So it's very important that you think highly of yourself, have the utmost respect, because if you do not, people pick up on that too, and they're definitely not going to give you any.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that would be my first thing. Your standards increase when you have self-respect.
Yep. Yep. Now, how does that? Now, you gave me an impact there. What is another? How does that your impact? How does that impact you? Not so much when it comes to others, when it's you directly.
Well, it impacts me because, I'm not quick to compromise. Um, I'm not quick to just fall for anything. I'm more observant.
Okay.
I guess it makes me, with me having self-respect, it makes me not so quick to let my guard.
Okay.
And then,
Okay. So not so quick to let your guard down.
yes, not so quick to let my guard down because in the end, I have self-respect. And because what I expect for me out of someone else is very, very important. So I can't let my guard down because once you let your guard down, somebody can ease their way in there. So with me, self-respect comes with not letting your guard down, let somebody ease their way in there. And then something happens, and now you got low self-esteem and all that because you allowed them to come in and intrude on your self-respect.
Okay. Okay, I like that. I like that. Miss Asia, and then we're gonna come back and ask you some more questions, Miss Joanna. Miss
Okay.
Joanne.
Okay.
So I would say for me, having self-respect, um, it minimizes shame.
Oh, I love that.
It minimizes shame and respect because I don't. The more self-respect I have, or the more that I tap into that, the less likely I'm going to do something or make a decision or mistake that I have to keep reflecting on in my future and trying to forgive myself for, and constantly asking God to please take the shame away. Lord, why you let me do it? So it just helps me kind of live a life where I don't have to be ashamed of my decisions. I've done some things, some questionable things, okay, in my past. But I know that if I would have had self-respect, I would have never put myself in those situations.
Okay. Did you grow from those situations?
Of course, of course.
And so through that growth, did you have enough self-respect at that time, which you knew what self-respect was for yourself?
You said, did I have enough self-respect at the time that I was growing through it, or?
Well, no, yeah. Did you have enough self-respect at that time that you knew? Okay, I just confused myself. At that time when you did those things, the self-respect that you have for yourself, was that enough at that time based off your knowledge level,
I
based off what you knew about yourself?
I would say it was non-existent. I would say that there wasn't any at all, and I wasn't even considering that as a factor at that point in my life.
That's what I
Okay.
that's what I was just thinking. That's how I took it because she said she didn't have any at that time, so that's how I took it as well.
Yeah,
Well,
I just didn't even think that it was something important. Like, it wasn't even thought of.
Mhm.
You know how people think to have money for preparing for a situation or a place?
mhm.
It wasn't thought of for me to have self-respect to navigate through life. That
Yeah.
wasn't something I considered or even just imagined. I didn't care. I didn't. It didn't.
It wasn't important at that time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what about this question? What is to you basic self-respect, the foundation of self-respect? What is, because you're saying something. Okay, what we have a tendency to do, what I really have the tendency to do, I downplay some of the great things that I do.
Mhm.
Okay, and one of those things is super, like I say, super basic. I can overlook like what I've been doing awesome for a long time,
Mhm.
and with knowing what I know about you and what you shared it with me, you've had a level of self-respect. But the question is, do you see it? So that's why I asked you the question. That's why I asked you the question. What is basics, the foundational level of self-respect? What is that for you?
For me or Miss Joanne?
Oh, you, for you.
Um, I think the basic level is, listening to myself,
Okay.
acknowledging my feelings, acknowledging the outcomes of my decisions, consulting with myself and with God before I do something. Even if it's just simple as having a conversation with somebody or giving somebody something or going to a place, just actually asking myself, how do I feel about it? Are there any gut instincts telling me to stay at home? Um, the way that I show up and present myself in the world, like self-respect to me can go even as far as leaving out the house looking a hot mess.
Thank
So,
you. That's what I was going for right there.
yeah, so even something like that, I'm not gonna, if I don't want to be perceived as somebody who don't care about myself, so I'm not going to show up like I don't care about myself. So it's a spectrum. I mean, I could be talking all day about what's basic, but it's a spectrum for sure.
Okay. So with that, spiritual guidance, I love your smile and your, I mean, you light me up every time I see your photo. I get
I appreciate
energized.
that.
I love it
Thank you,
when you show
Duran.
up. Thank you so much for coming through.
Oh,
So,
thanks for
so,
having me up.
oh, you're welcome. So, Miss Asia, um, so with that, when you did those things, like I can imagine you were beautiful, you were looking beautiful when you did that. You consulted, you made a decision that you desire to learn from, right? It may not have been what you wanted to learn, but you learned. and and now you may know the stove is hot when you turn it on and you wait 5 minutes. Um, and so it's and see that's the thing. I can say for me, I would tell myself, D, you had no self-respect, but bro, you woke up, you brushed your teeth when you went to the bathroom, you shook, you used the right white, the right paper. You don't have streaks no more. You know what I'm saying? You smell good. If you sweat, you ain't gonna smell outside. I did those basic things of self-respect. Now, as the day went on, yeah, I made some questionable decisions, but I started out pretty good. And so that's what I was saying is, so rather what I'm getting at, we have the tendency to low key beat ourselves down and don't acknowledge those small wins that we had throughout that day.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, the things that I'm speaking on are like situations. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, there would have been nothing good for me to point out in some of these situations that I'm speaking on. Like, I'll give an example. In my teenage years, this is me not self-respect. I would go to the stores and steal stuff so I can go sell it to other people. Had a job, had parents make great, both sets of parents make great money. Um, no reason to be stealing. No reason to be getting arrested. No reason to be constantly in and out of juvenile. Absolutely no reason. Didn't make sense. If I had self-respect, I would have considered that I don't actually want to lose my freedom. I would have listened to myself about I actually don't want to be in jail. I don't want to sit here and wait for the police to tell me my fate. Like those were things I'm saying. Like there was nothing good I could have pointed out in those situations.
Now, I don't know if you noticed or not, but I am Mr. Positive. I find positive in almost everything. Uh, the passion in your voice in what you just said has the ability to change somebody else's life. I don't know if you're aware of this, but there's this unattractive thing about life that I'm not the biggest fan of. I went through so much stuff that it had nothing to do with me. It was for me to bless somebody else, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
I cannot stand. It's a lot of stuff I love about life, but that's that one thing I am not the biggest fan of. But that is what makes us awesome, right? And I'm excited about the day that you even see more how awesome you are. I need for y'all to come to Florida because I need some of these amazing stories on my podcast on Sundays. Y'all gonna force me to do videos.
I come to Florida a lot. I don't know what
You
part
do?
you I come to Lakeland a lot.
Oh, you got to come down here. You ain't that far. I'm in Clearwater.
Okay, yeah.
I'm in Clearwater. I do Sundays 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock live on YouTube.
Okay.
And that what you're talking about. There are so many young ladies. Same scenario, right? There's a lot of reasons why I can probably suggest why you did that, but I can say the biggest reason why I can say from an outside looking in, you did that is so you can have an amazing story today.
That's one way to look at it, but
I
it
mean,
was
it ain't fun going through it. I can say that.
yeah.
I mean, because the smile that you have on your face and the joy that you have in your heart that I hear through your voice, yeah, a lot of people would say you're not supposed to have that.
Oh yeah, I know that for sure. But you
You know
know,
what I'm
God,
saying?
God redeems. God redeems.
Yeah, exactly. Spiritual guide,
Hello.
how you doing?
Hello.
Represent New York.
I'm doing well. I'm doing well, Duran.
You doing well?
I
So
am.
we're still inside of self-respect.
Okay.
And now we're talking about the benefits of it because let me tell you, there are some wins in self-respect. A couple things that I learned over the last couple of weeks, I shared them with you all, is number one, the way I respect myself, I deflect that on others. If I'm not having a good day, I try to change that. If I'm not having a good moment, I alter that as quick as possible because I don't want to alter somebody else's day. I mean, somebody else's moment. And so I learned about my deflection. The other thing I learned, I shared a little bit earlier, is I learned that I have honestly been disrespecting myself a lot. And by me disrespecting myself, I cause my customers to disrespect themselves when I'm thinking I'm helping them, but I'm actually making situations worse. And all I have to do is make better decisions for myself and really stand up for who I am, even higher. And so now that I have like the benefits of it, I have so much peace. I'm able to, I had to write a message out tonight because somebody just really, they attempted to attack me, but they did a great job at it. I mean, the effort that they put into that long text message, it was awesome. Like for someone to send a text message that probably took them 30 minutes to write, they was really caring about me in that moment. That's pretty cool. And I was able to respond back with the actual conversation that was in another text message, which made it a lot easier for me. And so those are some of the benefits for me from self-respect. That's the impact. The impact, like while we're having this conversation, one of the things I would love for you all to think about, what is your impact really in your life and really around the people that you interact with? Because I don't know, I'm learning what a lot of mine is, and it's mind blowing to me. But spiritually guided. She's a life coach too, you all, an amazing one too.
I appreciate
What are the
it.
impacts of having self-respect?
Well, for me personally, I would say a lot of peace. So I'm with you on that. But my decisions, the decisions that I've made that have led to a greater amount of peace by showing myself respect and projecting that onto others is not allowing for other people's negative energy to affect me, and then therefore then projecting their negativity back onto them, because that just spreads more negativity. So I mean, obviously, oh well, I can't say obviously, you don't know me, but I spend a good amount of time in solitude to protect my own energy. But I think that that has a great impact as well. I don't have to physically be in someone's presence to show them or for them to see that I respect myself. Because if I eliminate myself from a toxic situation or negative energy, I'm showing them that I respect myself enough and to expose to them their negative. Since it's really kind of letting them know that, hey, if she can do it, I can. So they can probably or possibly start to eliminate some of the negativity and the negative energies in their life just by being the example, not allowing for those things to take place and continue. So I would say that that's one of the greater impacts that learning to project my self-respect in a way that is unapologetic has helped me make an impact. Because oftentimes people like to or don't like to, they may not even realize that they're projecting, but people do project those things and have an expectation of you to continue just based off of the type of relationship, regardless of what it is. So that's what I would say self-respect has done for me, like, and made the biggest impact.
Oh, that is awesome. Now that I can appreciate that also. That is it's that impact that we project out. It is. I'm happy today. I recognize what I'm impacting out. I mean, how I'm impacting others. I'll say it that way. I am so appreciative of the fact that I am able to recognize that. Whoa, I need to pull that back, or I'm right there in a position to where when I'm doing something that I'm trying to not trying is such a bad word. I'm in position to provide as much as I can to enhance someone else's life, but I have to enhance mine first. And so I stay on top of that one. And so to hear you say it and that you're doing it, that's awesome. That is totally awesome. Okay. Uh Queen for life. How you doing this evening? Queen, go ahead and come on up here and let's talk. Queen, like to chill. Oh, I don't know if Queen is off for what's her name yet? Is she off? Yes, she is off. Queen is off. And user 93 in the rest. Let me see. Hold on. User 9310656333. Go ahead and come on up here. This is a safe place for women and women only. The only reason why I'm up here is because I'm the host. That's it. We talk. Oh, okay. Stacey gonna pray to come up. We're talking about women, and when I apologize, the women are talking about the women, and how the first topic is what are the impacts of having self-respect, because I can say with a lot of things that are going on today is that people would challenge us. They would challenge us to see if we really going to stand our ground. And sometimes standing our ground is just by smiling. It's by saying our words, or it's by doing it the way that we choose of doing it. And so I'm like, no camera needed. Just no camera needed. Exactly. We just know, Asia, you said it better than I did. We just want your beautiful words. That's it. A little bit of background real quick. The New Black Church is a podcast, and my slogan is your story is your Bible. And what it is, I believe everyone has something to say. If you're older, I'll say 18 years old, because that's the age you have to be to come on here and go live. If you're over 18 years old, you're in a position to where you can bless somebody else's life. My 9-year-old has been through almost more than I have when I was in my 20s, based off what she's been exposed to, right? If there's so much that she can see today that I didn't see until I was a grown man in college. And so we all have something that can bless somebody. I also say this a lot. I hear so much from people in lives that I'm like, did you even hear what you just said? Like, you just ran through that like everybody do that, which is not true. But we tell it so many times that it just become a second nature. We become personally immune to our greatness. I like that. I'm about to write that one down. I like that. And so, but since we're moving, I'm gonna go ahead. What's this next topic? Why do I keep hitting enhance when I know that I want an effect? I do that every time, and I do this every week. Okay, so the benefits of self-respect. Now we know what our impact is. The question is, how can self-respect improve our relationship with others? Now we've already talked about that, like how ours enhance those relationships, right? But the deal is, how can self-respect improve our relationships with others? That's a loved one, a family member, somebody at the grocery store, a neighbor, just anyone that you come in contact with. How can that help them?
Well, I would say that it enhances my relationships with others because I treat other people with respect. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if I expressed this but prior to you before, but I my career was in law enforcement and or public service, and in 10 years of policing, I had zero civilian complaints, and I had other people tell me, "Hey, you're not doing your job if you don't get civilian complaints," and I believe that that's a completely inaccurate statement because I did my job, I did it well, but I treated people like human beings with respect and compassion every single time I encountered people, even people who were out of control. Though that's how I gained control of those situations, by being respectful and just learning to listen. Sometimes when people are in their worst moments, all it takes is someone you taking 5 minutes of their own time to listen deeply and just be quiet. Let them express themselves so that they can talk through their own situation and come to the realization of what really took place and what the lesson was for themselves, instead of always like just talking at people. Listen, that's how me having self-respect has affected my relationships, because that's what I expect, that's what I deserve. And if I don't get that, then I express myself clearly about it, and then move on and allow space in that relationship so they can see that it's not tolerable. And if they continue, then they just got to go. And that in and of itself uh, improved my relationship because it wasn't a good relationship, right? So if it wasn't a healthy relationship and it didn't change after expressing that it wasn't, the next best thing is to end the relationship, which is an improvement in your life and theirs, because the unhealthy relationship was unnecessary for your growth and evolution. So that's what I would say.
Oh wow. I got some questions for you as soon as Asia finishes.
Absolutely.
So I would say for me, the improvements, I would say trust. Um, Given the answers from the previous question about like what basic self-respect is,
Mhm.
I think that in my platonic and romantic relationships, it would provide that benefit of them trusting me more, or feeling like they even can trust me because they see how I treat myself, how I think, towards myself, how I carry myself. They have less worries about how I would treat them and carry them, if you want to word it like that. So, yeah.
That's nice. So, okay, so I'm gonna start with Asia and then I'm gonna come back to spiritually guided. So, Asia, you share a little bit about yourself, right? And so, like I say, so okay, I've done security majority of my IT career. Okay, so I have to study people to understand and how they think, so that I know how to catch them doing something they don't have no business doing with a computer, especially when I used to be the ones who's doing it. And so I pick up on voice inflections, all kind of things, just natural behavior to get an idea and educate a guess on them. And my educated guess on you is that you're so happy that I know is changing lives in a couple ways. One, people trying to figure out how can I get that. Two, they can't stand you because they want it, but they don't know how to ask you how to get it. Like, how do you handle that? Because I know you probably experienced that. There's a possibility.
Yeah, I experience it all the time, and I won't say that is that I'm happy because I still do have my moments where I go through depression. But the answer that I give them is the truth. They don't actually want this process. Nothing that they want from this process is it's not one of them get rich quick stories. Is not one of them just you got to follow these 5 steps and God is gonna bless you and you're gonna be yeah. It's not that at all. It's none of that. It's a lot of hard labor, hard spiritual warfare. It's a lot of just crying through it and pressing through it, forgiving myself, forgiving others. Something I'm still struggling with. And I keep it really like all the way honest with people, and I tell them it's a lot of things I have not overcome yet. Like it's a lot of things I have not won yet. So this is not something they want to ask me. How can I get there? You don't want to get here. You want to get way way past, way way past. Way past.
I love it. I love it. Okay, I gotta ask you, and like my generation said, you don't ask a woman how old she is. But if I want to give you the right kind of flowers. So, uh, how old are you?
I am 27.
Let me tell you, you are a real 27. Wise is an understatement. Gifted is an understatement. To describe you with one word without saying you are you, to me, would be belittling who you are. Um, you are doing your damn thing at 27. I would honestly have to say that to you to recognize that. Wow.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you so much. I mean, you give me hope in so many situations. And I so appreciate, because people love to ask the question, well, what is the generation doing behind us? You're showing us. And that just shut people up right there. I mean, they can't even ask no more because you are an excellent example of that. Okay. Now, spiritually guided, you just said something And you just ran right over that like it was just normal. I'm like, I wonder if she hurt herself. Like, let's just walk through this real quick. 10 years, peace officer, right?
Mm-hmm.
No write-ups. That means if one person per night and you took off your regular nights, that's 365 days. Let's give you 20 days of vacation. That's 340 days times 10 years, one person per day. That is 3,450 people lives that you made peaceful. And you just gonna act like I ain't done nothing. I was just being myself for 10 years. I'll sit up here like, okay, she
Well,
just ran
that's the
straight
truth,
through
though.
it. I'm like,
Well,
that's some kind of love for yourself. Go ahead.
I've been uh, I've been a protective energy my entire 42 years of life, as I can remember. It's pretty, pretty far back. Probably as soon as I start running my mouth. But oftentimes, what's the word? Not criticized, but ostracized, because
Mhm.
I've always been the person to speak my mind, right? But also be fair out injustices, regardless of what they are. It has to be a type criminal injustice, period. Like the energy where people are being good to each other, and the one to speak out against it. So it's not. It just comes naturally. That's why I don't you know expect praise for it, because I feel like everyone should carry themselves that way. Um, but that's not always the case, obviously. But
Well, okay. Here's something I had to learn, and it was a hard lesson for me too. It was hard. I don't like using the word hard, but that was hard for me. Um, I didn't expect praise for something because I didn't give myself praise for it at first.
hmm.
I share this story. My second year at Microsoft, I was having a lot of fun doing my job. Doing my job, they accepted me for who I was, and I was having a blast. And my boss called me into a meeting, and she gonna tell me, well, your impact is this, and so I submitted you for this award, and you won. My response was, who asked your ass to do that? I didn't ask you to do that. I don't want it. Tell them no. Tell them that you did not come to me first and ask me if I won the award for doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And she was like, huh? Well, Duran, you get this, you get this. I don't want none of that. I just want to come to work, do my job, be Duran, and have fun and just go about my day. And she was like, but no, everybody don't do what you do. You do this so well and this. I don't care about all that. Don't do that again. A year later, I got sick and had this epiphany about, hey, dude, you're not taking care of yourself. That's why you can't receive compliments well. That's why you can't receive certain things well, because you don't do them for yourself first. And then the light bulb went off. Now that I do them better, I'm more receptive of somebody saying I'm doing something now. But yeah, two things used to fire me up. One, don't praise me for doing something that I'm doing. Two, don't ask me what sport I played. Those two used to fire me up a lot. But now that I've pulled back, because I wasn't good at complimenting myself or praising myself first. I'm not saying that's you, but I'm just outside looking in. I know it was more than one person a night, but just imagine how someone came up to you, you came up to them, they were having a night, and you just sat there and just looked at them and listened to them. And they said their piece, answered their own questions, realized they answered their own questions, and then probably apologized to you. And then you handled it appropriately and went on about their day. And you probably did that for so many
Yeah.
people. You was probably the first person to ever do that for so many people. That's priceless. Go ahead.
No, I can. I definitely appreciate just I
Spiritually, you're
listen
breaking
to
up pretty
them
bad.
was praised enough. Hear me clearly now? Hello?
Try it again. Yeah. Yes. Okay, that's better.
Okay. Yeah, no, so I mean just knowing that the situation was de-escalated and you didn't go further than it needed to crazy enough for me. It's not that you know what I mean? Like, does that make
Mm-hmm.
sense?
Yeah.
I really didn't need to think about it.
Uh-oh, you
I
started
got a
breaking up
lot
again.
of trouble for it. It was more so up, down, and cover me.
Yeah, it's really choppy. I can't.
Yeah, you were really choppy. Um, yeah, we got to get that fixed because you got so many jewels. Queen for life in the official crown. We're gonna let she's gonna come down and come back up. How are y'all doing this evening? A queen and a crown. Hey, they go so well together.
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am excited. I am so excited. I look forward to tonight. This is the one night where I can get away with being surrounded by beautiful women and don't get in trouble. So yeah, I love Wednesday nights. I love Wednesday nights. So we're talking about the benefits of self-respect. The first one was how does it impact your life, having self-respect? And then the second question is how can self-respect improve our relationships with others?
I think, oh, sorry, Crown, you want to go or should I go first?
You can go first, sir.
Okay. I think for me personally, the biggest benefit of self-respect is being able to set boundaries. And I think when you respect yourself because as women, we tend to put ourselves in situations because we lack boundaries. And I think when you respect yourself and you value yourself, you understand that you're a human being and you can say, I don't want to do this. And you don't have to explain yourself. Or you can like put yourself first, right? Because when you understand that when you respect yourself, you cannot give from an empty cup. I think those are the two greatest things that I've learned about self-respect, in my opinion.
Okay, I like that. Um, that's awesome. Okay, the official crown.
Hey. So, my understanding of self-respect, looking at like just the word respect is like deep admiration or like to have reverence to something. And so I think that's essential. Um, I think self-respect is essential in how you deal with others because the way you treat others is typically how you would treat yourself. And we don't realize that, but when we have like a perverted view of our own self, we look at other people perverted. Like you base, I think it's natural for a person to project. You know, if you a cheater, you tend to think other people's behaviors and indicate that they cheating, or you know what I'm saying. So how you look at yourself, um, almost directly determines how you're gonna treat somebody else. So self-respect, self-love, that admiration for yourself allows you to have admiration, a positive interaction with another human being. Are you?
Oh yeah. So we're coming back. I love it because it lets me know I'm not alone. It's coming back to what we have for ourselves is projecting out on others. And I think if more people realize that you're actually telling your business by the way you treat people, we probably will stop some of the stuff that we do.
Mhm.
I can't.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, if we realize that, you know what, I'm really telling my business to these people how I feel about myself, I may not want to do that. The things that I say, it's starting to come to me now. A lot of these little sayings that people used to say when I was younger, that used to go over my head because I was too busy trying to make money. As I slowed down, I'm like, oh man, that make a lot of sense that they said. and so but yeah, that works extremely well. And so now we know how self-respect can improve the relationship with others. How can self-respect improve relationships with ourselves? Like, what are some of the things that we can do better? I love the boundaries. I'm actually learning, and I wonder if I'm alone here. I'm actually learning how to set boundaries for myself before I even settle for somebody else. It's like I'm having to manage myself. Like, whoa, D, you can't. You need some boundaries there, bro, because you out of bounds. So, what are y'all thoughts on that?
Oh,
No. Go
you.
ahead, Asia. Go ahead.
Oh, anyone?
I was gonna say I would think that my answer would be the same as how it affects my relationship with others. With me, it's gonna benefit me in the area of trust. So I'm one of those people who, if I have a decision to make, I'm normally like indecisive. But it's more so because I have that fear of failure or that fear of somebody seeing me fail. But when I practice self-respect and practice trusting myself with my decisions and showing myself like you are capable, you are smart enough to do whatever you're trying to do, going forward, it helps me with the new decisions or the opportunities that present themselves. I'm not feeling anxious and like, oh, but why did they pick me? Why would they pick me? What am I gonna do if it? Am I gonna do this right? That are all them questions that normally pop up. They don't pop up as much the more I respect myself.
Okay.
That imposter syndrome shows up when you don't respect yourself. That's
Yeah.
what it sounds like to me. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like we always have that void, all right, that part of our ego that tells us that we can't because we don't believe it ourselves. So once we start having more self-respect, it's easier to appreciate that about ourselves and just own it. Um, were you finished,
Excuse
Asia? I'm
me.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut
Yeah, I'm
you
finished.
off.
Excuse me. You said imposter syndrome. What is that?
Yeah, it's like when you feel like you don't belong or you feel like you can't do something. So you basically talk yourself out of it and you don't accomplish the goal because you've already projected that your inability to accomplish it on yourself. So it's like, being an imposter, like a fake or a phony or something like that. And I think that sometimes the ego tells us that we can't do things and like we shouldn't be doing it or we're qualified enough, and once we let go of that part of the ego, listen to the other side of ourselves and being kind and respect ourselves, that's when it has disappeared for me, been put to the side. Just speaking from personal experience, that's basically imposter. It's like you doubt your and then you feel like you don't belong or you it and it hinders you, it restricts. But
Spiritually,
Really? Can you
my
get
answer to
near?
this
Can
question
you
about
get near a
having
window or
self,
something?
yeah, spiritually, we're gonna need you to fix this connection because
uh, is it?
you speak next, but it's choppy again.
It's choppy again.
I'm
Um.
gonna restart my entire phone.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna save your seat for you. Okay. Um. To piggyback on that, the official crown. Let me give you an example of it. Um. I moved here. 2 months later, I thought my son's mom was joking when she said DJ finna move with you. So when she sent him with this big bag, I was like, well, she gonna ask him to come back when school starts. But then she sent me these schools for him to go to. So I got him into the school. School started. And I kept telling myself, now he came here in July, right? July 21st to be exact. School started in August. Okay. September, I take him to the doctor. I'm rushing over there because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing with him and stuff like this. I need some help. I kept trying to convince myself I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. But he's eating every day. He's learning every day. He's growing every day. I kept trying to tell myself that I don't know what I'm doing and I don't know how to do it, but I'm doing it every day. That's like the imposter syndrome. I'm trying to convince myself that I'm somebody that I'm not. And so I still to this day, I will do that. I mean, the challenges for me today is I never planned on anyone looking up to me or being a pillar in a community or doing anything at this age to where I have a big influence on a bunch of lives. I said after 50, I didn't want to do that kind of stuff no more. I just want to lay back in the cut, chill, relax until, whatever that last day comes. And so by doing this and now doing some other stuff and mentoring almost 10 people at work, it's kind of like I try to talk myself out of it, but this is what I've been doing since I've been in my 20s. And so, but yeah, that's how, like, I'm learning how to stop that. Asia says something super duper important to me. And I just forgot that quick what it was. It was the last thing you said, Asia. I'm so sorry. I just got what it was that quick.
It was pretty. We was talking about them. Well, spiritually gave it a name, the imposter syndrome. I couldn't think of it, but that's pretty much all I was getting at. That
Yeah, it's
I
like
was indecisive going forward.
Okay, yes, what it was. Same thing. Convincing myself that's that's what you said. Why me? Why me? Why me? I got to the point to where I finally began to say, why not me? Why not?
Yeah, I'm not there yet. I ain't there yet. I'm still getting there.
But that's good. That's good. See, at least you're thinking about it and you're verbalizing it out loud. Enough people are not doing that enough. Okay. And so with that being spread and being done, that I believe more people will feel better. Like I say, it has stuck with me now, spiritually guided, that, you know what? These people are really telling me how they really feel about themselves when they project how the words that they use and share with others. And so I like that. Okay. And so, y'all, we flowing good. We into the third topic for tonight.
So
Go
I
ahead.
did want to
wait,
answer that.
I didn't actually give my answer to
Oh, you did? Okay, I'm
the
sorry.
self how it no, I just kind of went off of what Asia said, but my answer to how I feel like my self-respect improves my relationship with self is that I show up as my authentic self in every situation because I respect myself. I love me. So anybody who knows me knows they're getting the authentic me. Even people that don't know me know they're getting it because they're getting a lot of truth. I don't sugarcoat things and I'm not putting on a show. So I've put acting aside in this society and I only bring my authentic self to the table in every situation. Um, and that's basically my how I improve my relationship with self through self-respect. So
Okay.
I done.
Question. Authenticity, do y'all believe that's high confidence?
Yep.
Anyone?
It can be, but people can have confidence and be inauthentic as well, I think, in my opinion.
Okay. Can someone have confidence and authenticity in their voice?
What do you mean?
Absolutely.
Where they sound?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
I
say
believe
yeah.
so, Duran. Like, um, can you hear me? It was sound
Yes,
so
yes.
yeah.
I mean, no, you're really clear this time. I'm like, yes.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were,
Good.
I thought
No,
you were gonna go
I
deeper into
believe
it.
no because as we spoke, yeah, no, as we about before a previous live, I when I interact with people, I pay attention to everything, right? So tone, facial expression, body language, posture, all of those things can tell me whether a person is being authentic or inauthentic throughout the interaction. So I say absolutely yes.
Okay. Okay. And then somebody else has said something also.
Yeah, I said I'm gonna say yeah, and that's so. This is something I have struggled with for a long time. I'm from Memphis, so a lot of my words, like when I'm just talking and I'm comfortable, a lot of my words come out real country, and people will comment on it and be like, girl, say that word again, say that word, say," and I be like, that's not, you just missed the whole message. So when I first came to TikTok, I really was code switching hard. Like I was sounding like how I talk at work, which I shouldn't code switch there either. But I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to do it. Y'all gonna have to forgive me. But yeah, I once I like really just started to embrace my accent and just, I mean, like ignore what people will say, like, oh, repeat that, or girl, why you say that like that. I just started to ignore it, and I'm like, I can't even show up as my full self if I keep code switching. I can't say certain things or say how I feel about certain stuff because my accent, that's when, especially if I'm passionate about something, it's gonna come out. Like it's gonna come out. So if I'm constantly going from Sally from HR to Asia Kiana back and forth, people gonna start thinking I'm fake. I need to just show up as me. Who cares if somebody don't like my accent or somebody is obsessed with it, whatever? Who cares? Like just show up as yourself because they gonna keep missing the message if you keep going back and forth of who you are. People need to trust you. So I do believe it's a level of authenticity in somebody's voice for sure.
You know, I get your point, and I, because I code switch hard too. Um, and I I, I, especially at work, I exude this confidence in my voice, even in my code switch. Well, it's especially when I code switch because it's intentional. It's because when I do speak a certain way, it's assumed that I'm ignorant because there's a proper way to use the English language, and my authentic self is is comfortable with cutting words short, not enunciating every syllable. And so when I code switch, it's still my authentic self. It's simply using the uh, English language in its proper form, and so it doesn't change who I am. It's simply using some of the tools that I've gotten. It don't change the core me. So I feel confident either way, but I definitely code switch and to for those who may have this superiority complex in my in the field that I work in.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it at work, but I think for it, like on TikTok and with my platform, the fact that I am pretty much telling all my business all of the time and my story and everything, I think that stuff like that I should show up 100% country, whatever, loud, passionate, cry, whatever I need to do instead of acting like I just put a business suit on. That's what I'm saying. Like for my actual platform, I don't feel like I want to show up how I do at work. Now at work I have to. I'm sorry. Like I'm the only black person in my whole department, not just my team,
Me too.
whole department. Black person, and I'm a black woman on top of that. I have to like be on my P's and Q's. I gotta represent for my fellow black women. So
Hmm.
on my
And
platform,
you're fighting
I
stereotypes.
get it.
yeah.
It
So.
sounds we got something in common. When I was a police officer, I was the only one too.
Hmm.
I was literally the only black woman in a 150 person police department. So I can definitely talk, but authentic is
You went
I mean,
back to
I
chopping up
probably randomly that's probably most
spiritually.
at my most
Get
comfort,
spiritually. Get rid of
highest
that
my
doggone
comfort
flip
level.
phone, girl.
Um, I think I'm done for the night.
Oh no,
No, it's not a
no!
flip
Come on,
phone.
let's
It's the
work with
newest
this.
iPhone. But
I'm just,
I live in an RV though, so I'm outdoors. I'm
okay.
outdoors. I live in an RV. I live in
Okay.
my space.
Is
So
this
there you
Um,
go, right there. It's
that
fine, right
that's
there. Don't
something
move.
that.
Stay right.
Don't
Yeah.
move. Stay right there where you at.
do you have headphones or is this just
Oh
like
Oh,
man,
oh, do you
I
have?
do. Maybe I should take my headphones off.
Yes, yes, yes. That might be
please
it.
Oh
please
yeah, TikTok recommend if you don't have your headphones plugged in, don't use them.
Oh yeah,
turn
my phone doesn't have a phone jack, and I didn't buy that other piece. Can you hear me clearly now?
Oh yeah, very clear.
I guess
Absolutely.
I'm gone.
No, we hear you very clear.
I think
Had to get
Wayne
rid of the headphones.
I was gonna say it
No,
is so. Go ahead. No, go ahead and finish.
After
no.
spiritually.
I was just showing appreciation for I was just showing appreciation for the women,
uh
we're in the same type of work environment where you're the only one. That can be it can be trying for sure. Especially when you're outnumbered and then, overlooked and you deal with other, you know, discriminatory acts, implicit biases that people don't even realize they're projecting upon you. So, I just wanted to give y'all flowers for that too. A lot of inner strength to work in those environments.
Um, that is awesome. Let me tell you why that's awesome. I did that 25 years ago. No, 29 years ago. My first 10 years, I was the only black in most jobs that I had my first 10 years because there weren't that many black people in IT. And I code switched for a long time until I started working for Microsoft. I shared this multiple times. Did a presentation. I've been presenting for over 20 years, so not a problem. Got my coaching, went back to get my certificate, and they said, you failed. What? How I failed? They was like, oh, your presentation was awesome, but you're a fake. What you mean I'm a fake? You know, I represent Durant extremely well. And then the guy Jack said, I will promise you this. A fake person don't last long here. I can tell you that right now. So you may want to find out who you are. 2 weeks later, I was in Richmond, Virginia at a university, and I was doing my presentation, and I can tell because I do the same thing. If we picking on somebody, we'll talk about them in teams, and I can see the whole team doing that when I'm the only brown person in the room. I went to New York the next week. I said, I'm not doing this again. I put a slide deck in. I put a slide in my deck, and I asked them to enunciate AIR, FAIR, THERE, and CAR. And they enunciated. I said, well, I'm from Oak Cliff, Texas. The first season, the first 48. We say, therefore, so I'm going to be myself. All right? Don't get caught up in what I'm saying because y'all already paid y'all money and I'm already paid to be in New York. So either you pick up on the information that I'm helping you to secure your infrastructure, or you can laugh at the way I talk because I'm from down south. And the Indian guy was like, you have the nerve to talk about English? It was so funny like that. And I began to accept my broken English. I did that and I took off at Microsoft. When I say I took off, meaning my stock went high, it's to the point now where people wait between 6 to 9 months to get on my calendar. A couple weeks ago, I shared this a couple of times in some other lives about authenticity of being who I am. It was 10:45. I was like, let's do a 15-minute break. We'll be back at 11. I didn't think much about it. Came back. One of the guys was like, it was a university in Michigan, one of the biggest ones in Michigan that won a couple of championships. And the guy said, Durant, can I give you a compliment, but I don't want you to take it the wrong way. I'm like, what's up? He said, dude, I'm from down south, and I've been up here so long. He said, when you say 11, that remind me of home. I'm like, huh? He said 11. Man, they talk about 11. They talk all proper like that. And he was like, dude, your confidence when you're speaking. He said about, man, your English so broken, it's crazy. But you get your point across, but you're so excited and stuff. When I code switched, I was doing good till I got excited. When my ADHD kick in, that's when I go back into who I originally was. Now that I don't code switch anymore, now this is 20 plus years after what I've been doing. And once again, going back to self-respect, I didn't respect myself enough to recognize I've been in the same career field almost 30 years. My name is pretty anonymous in certain fields, in certain areas in the field. And so it's okay for me to be that way. So when I hear Asia talk about her situation right now and she's in her 20s, man, wait till you get those years in. And then you're like, screw this. I got it. I put in my work. I've paved the way for so many people. I'm going to say what I want to say. That's going to be so awesome and beautiful to me. So I like the same thing that Spiritually Guided said, putting those gifts out like that. Because if self-respect isn't everything to us, first, how can we put that thing out? When she say, yep, my accent be kicking in, but I'm excited too. Yeah. But yeah, self-respect is everything to us. I'm learning that thing because my teachers, parents, and not parents, my mom, my older family, and even like moms of my friends, everybody else used to always tell us, be somebody else and don't be yourself. You have to talk like this at work. You have to do this. You have to do that. Never had to. They hired me because I was qualified. I'm up here running my mouth, y'all, and I ain't plugged this iPad up. Let's see what happens. There we go. We got some juice. I'm like, what you mean 10%? All right, cool. So, but yeah. And so I'm going to switch over to this last question tonight. Where'd it go? This one. Okay. So even though we've done some of this, right? But like the benefits of this thing, of this self-respect thing, we share some benefits, but I also know that there are some additional benefits, And so on top of the ones that you've already shared, what are some more benefits that you have about self-respect? And thank y'all so much for the love too.
I'll give an example.
Okay.
And then how it benefited me. So just a few days ago, I had a conversation with my mother, and she's been my greatest trial and tribulation throughout these 42 years of life, because we're just very different people. And I have understood that for a very, very long time. She does not seem to get it. Had a conversation, and I am literally in my purpose right now. So everything that I do comes back to my spirituality. That's who I am, and it's always been who I am. But I've participated in life long enough, as far as like the way that things are, even though I see them for what they really are. I was moving from a place of just like fitting in, and not really fitting in, though. That's not a really good way to say it, but just coexisting and existing, learning how to exist in this environment. So she always brings up like religion. I'm not religious at all. I've never subscribed to a religion. So she's always telling me and pushing religion upon me. So to ask her, I'm like, Mom, I'm 42. How many times in my 2 years of life have I told you that I believe in your book the way that it is, the way that you believe? Never. And I'm like, so why do you continue to do 42 years if I have always been in opposition to it? I've never believed in it the way that she does, and I don't allow for the fear and control and manipulation to affect me, right? And that's been since a small child. I've never been religious. And then I'm just had to acknowledge to her because I have enough respect for myself and I've grown enough at this point in life to share with her how I feel so that I can heal from it, forgive her, forgive myself for holding on to it, and then move past it. So I asked her, I expressed to her, you have been trying to make me into someone else my entire life. If you don't accept me the way that I am, leave me alone. And that is the most important relationship for most people in society, is the relationship with your mother. But if your mother is unhealthy for you, you have to choose you. You have to have enough respect for yourself. So that's what I did for me. And we haven't spoken because I need a break. And I know that, so if we're going to communicate, she needs some time to think about the conversation that we had so that that can benefit our relation if it is to move forward. So placing boundaries for myself is a requirement. And I'm still working through things because, the journey isn't going to happen in one day, right? This is a lifelong experience. So, that's the example, and it's benefited me because I had to take a seat with myself and realize that I I had to kind of give myself roses for having enough courage to express those things in an emotionally mature way so that we can both leave the conversation in a healthy space. But boundaries were placed, and that's it. We move on. So that's my share of an example and how I think it's benefited me.
That's
Well,
That's just
awesome.
one thing. That was
spirit.
recent. So I'm just sharing some new stuff. Yes.
She stole mine. I was gonna say my mama too. Now I gotta think about something else while I crown talk. She stole it.
Girl, if that's your truth, that's your truth.
For real.
You know,
I mean, I had to
if
do that to
that's
my mom.
what your spirit was guiding you to share, I think that, you should, or feel like you can't share this thing. Your experience and mine are gonna be different terms, but share. I mean, it's healing. I think that's what makes this space.
Well,
Thank
yeah,
you.
I think mine it's along the same lines, but definitely not religion based. My mama just dysfunctional. So yeah, me having self respect, I pretty much severed that tie. Before I left Memphis, I was living with my mom for 2 months. It was supposed to be a year. But my rent had went up at my apartment like $450. And I looked at that renewal lease letter and I said, Who paying that? And I was just gonna find another place, but my mama had begged me. She was like, "No, please move here, save money, da da da." So I moved there. It didn't last long. We end up getting into it. She said some stuff that I still am trying to recover from. This was in June, and it's March, so I'm still working through it. But she said some things, and me having respect for myself, instead of just taking it like I normally would or used to, or just be like, you know what, whatever, that's my mama. This time I said, listen, nobody can give me enough money in the world to tolerate abuse. I don't care who it's from. I got my whatever I could, put it in this rental truck because she took the car back that she was letting me use. I put it in the rental truck, got my daughter, got my dog. We busted down 8 hours to get to Dallas. It was real middle of the night type of action, like. So that to me was the best benefit that I could have given myself because my life just changed as soon as I got here. Like I had quit my job before I left Memphis, and I had no money. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I came down here with like $200, and I didn't have a job lined up. I didn't know where I was gonna work, and I was applying. I was interviewing. Wasn't none coming through, but the job that I have now, I didn't apply for it at all. A recruiter hit me up on LinkedIn and was like, "We love your background. We love your resume. Da da da. Can we interview you?" Got the job the same week. So I feel like me having self respect really just showed me like how I can get out of my own way. Like me having self-respect, move people out of my way, and then I can get out of my own way. Like if I would have just took whatever she was saying and then believed it and came into agreement with it, I still would have been in her house because she told me I was gonna fail, I wasn't gonna have shit, I wasn't gonna be shit. She told me my daughter was gonna get molested if I leave, all type of stuff. And I could have sat there and listened and came to agreement with it and been like, damn, she might be right. Let me just stay here and stack up for a year. I could have did that. But I knew I trusted myself enough. That's what I was talking about earlier with the decisions. I trusted myself enough to know if I'm gonna make this decision, I know that it's gonna be some benefit. I'm gonna make it through this. Like I don't need to wait until I got it all together. I'm talking to myself when I'm telling myself it's about. I'm like, girl, we got this. Like we can do this. Come on. Like who cares about the label? You a single mama? Yeah, that's cool. All that's cute. Let's go. Like we got something to do in this life, and we can't do it here in this house. So I think that's one way that it benefited me for sure.
That's why I love Women Wednesday. Y'all so awesome. Love hearing that. It's because, like, I don't know if you hear it or not, but do you hear how you dug within yourself and pep talk yourself and then move to my hometown?
In the moment, it wasn't that simple though. I'm not gonna lie to you. In the moment, I wasn't feeling strong. I wasn't feeling capable. I was really crushed just that my mama would even say stuff like that to me. And I was kind of believing that stuff for just a little split second. So I'm not gonna act like I was just like, oh yeah, girl, we got this. Like we can do this. It was more so, we got this. We can do. It's more so tears and like boo crying. Like, girl, you gonna make it. Like it was more of that, not girl, F her. Like we gonna do this. Like it wasn't nowhere near that. So I'm not gonna ever lie and be fake about it. It was very hard.
Oh yeah, it's having self-respect and stand up for yourself is hard. Oh, it's especially when you're doing it and you're making a decision for you to separate yourself from all these people around you who you quote unquote thought supposed to be there for you. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Conquering Me said it best. Sometimes them snot nosed moments are the strongest. They sure are.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you really know what is in you that's getting ready to come out. Yeah, I miss them snot. I ain't gonna say I miss them like I want another one. I don't want no more. But
I don't want them. I'm all right. I'm okay.
yes, because
I want some
them
happy tears, happy tear moments, and I don't want no more.
mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So you went from Cascades in Atlanta. I forgot the skating ring in Memphis on the south side by the freeway.
You talking about
Uh
Crystal Palace? That used to be.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you went from Crystal Palace down to Southern. Southern Skates.
I just went to Southern not too long ago.
You
But
did? Yep. That's why I learned how to roller skate at 40 years old. At Southern.
go ahead, Crown.
Yeah, go ahead, Crown.
I just wanted to make sure everybody hadn't got out what they wanted to. But you know, one example of how self-respect has benefited my life is in an earlier live I was in this dope live, y'all. It was so healing. Um it was so one of the things I've been through was SA, and you know going through something like that can sometimes make you feel like you dead inside. um you Especially when it happens so young, you don't know who you are, and so you struggle with your own identity. Sometimes I even hated my own reflection in the mirror. And it was not solely because of that. It was other, esteem issues or things. But I had such a disdain about my own worth, my own being. And because I didn't know who I was, there was oftentimes I would imitate what I was seeing. So the types of women that was either around me or on TV that, you know, had what I felt like I wanted to be, I imitated them, you know, people I admired and stuff. And in that, you fake because you're not being yourself, right? And so um when I learned to love and respect myself as I am learning, because I don't think there's ever a point where you are like, I'm an expert at self-respect. I think that the need to change doesn't lessen your value, it increases your value when you can actually look at yourself and be able to see there's a need for change. That therein lies the increase in your value, because a lot of people can't see where the changes that need to be made in their life. So what I did when I started recognizing my own flaws in the way that I looked at myself, I set boundaries, you know. I found my own voice. um you know, what I like, what I don't like. You know, I acknowledged the accomplishments I had. And I went back, and those things that I perceived as a failure, I analyzed them to learn the lesson in those failures. You know, and in that I found who I am, or the woman I'm becoming. The evolved me. And so the way you respect yourself will allow you to be the true you. And I'll be completely transparent, that came from a period of dating myself, because um one bad relationship after the other, and I would even say those bad relationships were kind of I can attribute it to my childhood trauma, because I really did hate men. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I was attracted to them, but I was scared of them, because the very person that I should have been able to trust to protect and keep me safe was the one who violated me. And so, who can you trust when the violation came from someone you trust, right? And so everybody can say something, but I'm waiting on the other shoe to drop, no matter who it is. And then having that abandonment from an absentee father, you know, uh that compounded the trauma, you know, from my childhood. And so I wasn't even able to see that I was hurt. I mean, I knew I was hurting from one thing, but I didn't, because that hurt was so overwhelming, I couldn't see all of the other things I needed to heal from. And so as I pull back the layers, in dating myself, I'm getting to know myself, and I'm able to see, you know, okay, this is something. Okay, this is a little blemish. Okay, what can we do to get this right? You know what I'm saying? And so the way I would want my partner to come in my life and to recognize my flaws and appreciate my scars, you know, that's what I'm doing for myself. And so what it does is it creates another standard in my life, where a person who comes in my life has to love me like I love me or better. And so my self-respect for myself um helped me to see what love really is. That's my thoughts.
I love
Girl,
that.
you ain't have to do us like this now. You ain't. I, I mean, just read me for filth.
What I do?
You know? No,
Read
it's
the
just
room for filth.
the stuff that you're saying. Like, so many people never get to the bottom of that. Like, after you go through that type of trauma early on, like, some of us never get to the bottom of the root of even how to deal with, how to process it. So just hearing you kind of talk through that. Yeah, I know you said you were on a live earlier, but I, girl, listen, what you just said needs to go to the nations. That's all I'm saying.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that understands that there are some amazing stories out here. There are some amazing conquering stories. Now, let me tell you, one of the things I love about women, I love the way y'all talk to each other. I feel I'm listening to these chats.
I'm sorry, I ain't even think that. I'll just be talking.
I
I
wish a man would talk to me like that. I love the way women support each other. Crown, that was beautiful. As you were talking, one of the things that I appreciate about you so much when you come up is your picture. I appreciate your picture a lot because you're holding up your crown. I don't know if you noticed or not. The way you hold your crown, your shoulders automatically go back and your head go up. If you put your shoulders in front of you, your hand is gonna fall down and you're gonna drop your crown.
Mm-hmm.
And every time, like I'm still a photographer, but I used to do it professionally for a while. And the thing about a picture, it says 1,000 words about you through your eyes and through what you're doing.
Mm.
And that's part of how I read people. Like in that moment, I can pretty much tell you a lot that was going on with you in that moment by your photo. And that photo, I love the names that women give themselves, especially on TikTok, because you all give yourself, no, you've earned these names that you all put in. And I'm like, do they understand the power in the name that you all give yourselves? And the power that exudes after you open up your mouth that supports that name. And that's why I like doing these. I'm trying to figure out now how to not figure out, get time to chop these up into 2 hours and then post them on an RSS feed to get them on a podcast so people can listen to them and you all can listen to them too. I really need some help, but if you all can really go back to these lives that are recorded and hear the stuff that you all say, when I tell you it's amazing. I'm sorry, y'all. My eyes on me. I can't stand when people be telling the truth. I look like Tyler Perry's brother that did 8 years in prison. I can't stand when people tell the truth about me. And then when I get happy, my voice go real high like Tyler Perry's. I don't like that. I can't stand the truth. But back to it, I listen to you all, and it's so like amazing. Asia said it best. Like you're just speaking so much power. And when you all do it, the authenticity when we share our story, that is what moves people. And if we can get more people to see that authenticity that's in themselves as a beautiful thing, we'll move people differently than the way that we're moving them now. And these are, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think that I don't know if you can save this little snippet of just her explaining like what she went through and how she processed it. I really think that I need to use that for my for my teens because we have this conversation a lot, and a lot of us, I say us because it's still something I'm working through as well. A lot of us have a lot of shame, even though we didn't ask for the essay. We were kids, we was young. A lot of us have shame, and then even on the other side of that, a lot of us being that young, some of us was 3 and 4, and what we were experiencing, we did it to other kids, not even aware that this is completely like wrong. It's just something, you having a sleepover with your cousins or your other friends from school or whatever the case may be. And now you are participating in spreading perversion throughout whoever else. And so I think like with just her, the way she even articulated it, I really feel like to get that in the minds and the ears of younger people would just do some amazing. I don't know, it would just do something really amazing.
Okay.
That was a
So,
conversation that I was on. And I don't know if y'all know. I know Duran, you jumped in the box with me today on Proud Black and Intelligent.
mm-hmm.
And that's what we were talking, and it was y'all. It was deep, y'all. It was real deep, and a lot of us was able to, because the I think the real hurt, the deep hurt from it, it is not just that you were violated. It's how our culture sweeps it under the rug and nothing happens to the perpetrator. You sit across the table at Thanksgiving with the perpetrator. You know, that's damaging. That's traumatizing. And then you grow up and you become a woman and you find out it wasn't just you and your family. And on the outside looking in, we got this decent looking family, but with all of these skeleton bones where, we are corrupting children and turning even, because even like I told them in the thing, I even think the way we treat, because little boys who are violated are almost like, that kind of essay isn't taken as serious as it should be.
Yep,
You know,
it gets praised. They
yeah.
praise.
And so then it turns that child into a man who turns around and does it. We create in monsters by not dealing with that. And so
Mm,
we have to protect these babies, because we create a perverted generation, you know a damaged, a broken generation. And we got some of these people, and they look at, you know like how I mean, like, my story ain't unique, right? It's so many women that done been through what I've been through, almost can tell you the exact same story. um and our stories may vary, or even the way we cope with it may vary, but the fact that how many women done went through it, how many men done went through it, and then looking at how many times have we swept it under the rug, or or we didn't believe the child and so now they grow up with that disappointment, that hurt, and that deadness on the inside. And then we judge the symptoms of their hurt. Oh, they promiscuous. Oh, they don't they standoffish. They got an attitude. They are hurting. You know what I'm saying? And that's the because a lot of times people be like, oh, how do I trust men when the very men that was supposed to keep me safe did me that way? You talking about you gonna protect me? How do I trust you as a stranger to come and, like, I'm referring to some of these conversations on TikTok. How do I trust you as a man to love me and not want nothing from me, when the very men that well my we have the same blood pumping through our body couldn't even do that? I definitely ain't gonna trust you. I'm always waiting on the other shoe to drop. What you want from me? You gotta want something. Every man that come in my life wants something. And so we we need, in that self-respect and that self-love, you get a chance to heal, to
mm,
face some of those demons that are plaguing you, that are causing you to not have that ability to love, to open your heart up. You just so closed off. You're protecting the only little bit of you that you feel like you got, you know. And so
yep,
that was the conversation earlier.
yep. And that's like us. And then to bring it back to self respect, like she was saying, this is one thing I can say. Having self respect keeps me out of those type of, like she was talking about, the kind of lives with certain men or whatever. It keeps me out of the gender war. It keeps me out of just that argument, because I know that this is not a gender issue. This is well, I don't want to just like nobody on here, because I know we all said we believe in something different, but to me this is a spiritual thing.
Mhm.
So when we talk about people, women and men being groped or whatever you want to call it, I don't know what you could say on this app no more, but when you talk about men and women going through that as children, this is a perversion issue. This is spiritual. This is something lined up to pretty much take us out before we even have a fighting chance. I'm not saying, unalive us, but y'all know what I mean as far as identity is given. And then, like she said, people will label you as, oh, she got attitude. Oh, she's a whore because she's sleeping with everybody and da da da. But we don't know how to really process trauma at that age without the information, without the resources, without the protection. Like, to sit across from your abuser at a family function, I could not, honestly, I could not imagine. I could not imagine because as a child, you're not gonna feel like you can just blurt out loud, like, why is that person here? You got to stay in a child's place. So to even experience that, like, I don't even know how you made it through that. I'm really sorry any of that happened to you. I just can't even imagine. But I just think that self-respect keeps me in remembrance that this is not a man versus woman. I too went through a long period of hating men, but I also went through a long period of hating women. I was like the different kind of loner. Like, I can't even explain it to you. But I had so much mommy issues because of my mama, and then it showed up in how I was friends with other women and just anything like that. Like, I had a lot of issues with that, and then I had issues with men due to it's just no, it's a lot. I can't even get into all of it, but it's a lot. And having self-respect, just, it's like, okay, if you know that you can heal from these things, if you know that you have really gotten to the bottom and the root cause of these things, and that you are now on a different side of this situation that happened to you, then you know that everybody else can do the same. So it's not a man versus woman thing. Self-respect is showing me all the time, if you can do this, then you can at least tell people that they can do this. You can show them and plant the seeds. You can't force nobody, you can't control nobody, but you can definitely plant the seeds to let them know this is not a man versus woman thing. This is not a red pill versus blue pill. This is simply, we have all been born into some type of dysfunction and we didn't know how to handle it. And we're just now finding out as adults. So it's our job to heal from it now and then help the youth while they are still growing up.
Mm-hmm. That's what self-respect is. That's a part of self-respect. I respect myself enough to sit back and listen and learn how to respect you all. It's that super easy. Sit back and listen, and it's like, wow. You know, I'm learning how to respect each woman that's in the panel, each woman that's in the chat, everybody that's in the chat. I'm sitting back and I respect myself enough that I'm learning how to respect everyone. And if more people did that versus trying to put one against another and somebody has to win, you know, I'm the type of person, why all of us can't win. If everybody winning, how do you have opportunity to have an attitude? It's when someone is told that they got to lose. Well, why can't all of us win? Why can't all of us do a knowledge transfer session and we all learn and walk away winners because we're wiser now? So yeah, Miss Asia, you have put this impression upon me. I just have to say, you don't come to Lakeland and come to Clearwater and beat me up because I'll stay by the beach. But I enjoyed what you've been through because of the woman it has turned you into today. The experience that you're giving me is amazing. From my perspective as a man, it is so enjoyable to hear someone as mature as you are at your age, that you're able to articulate and express yourself and have so much self-confidence. Yes, you have your moments, like you said, where that stuff isn't there. That's awesome too, that you're able to recognize that, which means when you recognize that, you have an opportunity to do something about it if you choose to or not. I didn't learn this stuff till my late 40s, early 50s. No, I didn't chose to implement this stuff until my late 40s, early 50s. Let's change that up. Yeah, I didn't choose to implement. I've been knowing it for a long time, but I chose to bow down on who I was and become somebody else. And so I love this. The official crown says secrets are poison to a healthy family. They sure are. They are. My mom and I stayed into it. Well, we stayed into it after the way they hustled me on the unalivement of my sister. When they hustled me on that one, so my sister got unalived. A week later, I caught my wife cheating. And my mom came to me and told me her favorite line, pray about it. And boy, I was in the mood to express myself verbally like I've never had before to my mama. And I just expressed to her how I felt about her. Because I'm like, how you want me to pray about stuff when you used to be a 304? How you got 5 baby daddies and 4 of them with somebody else's husband, but you want me to go pray about it? No, I need you to tell me about the real life because I'm tired of y'all BSing me. And so share with me what is going on so I can learn and grow. And when I stood up for myself, that was the first time in my life my mom began to communicate with me and really give me something to take and learn and run with in life. Before then, all through school, my mom had a problem with this. Go pray about it. So I stopped asking her because I already knew what the answer was, you know. But just the official crown, let me tell you, I'm off tomorrow. I'm off the next 2 days. Tomorrow, the first thing I'm going to work on is hold on one second. Write down Asia Kanona name for me, please. Asia and the official crown for me and spiritually guided. I'm going to yes. Live is tomorrow on Thursday. I'm going to instead of doing my videos in the morning, I'm going to take this one, chop it up, turn it into an RSS feed, figure out where I can post that section at, and then I'm gonna try to send you all the link to it in Messenger to you all. That is my task for tomorrow. I would do that for you, okay, Asia?
Okay.
And then you can share it out. Oh, I can copy it and put it on YouTube, can't I?
Yeah, you can save the whole thing and put it on there.
So if I would have saved the whole thing, somebody listened to the whole 2 hours of it.
Probably not,
Okay,
but
that's what okay.
I would definitely split it up. For
Okay.
sure.
Okay. So I'm gonna pull that section out. Um, Also, I don't know if you all looked at my lives on YouTube, but the one last week and the lady that's coming in this week, the one last week. Remember how I was sharing with you all how people just run over stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Building self-respect. That's what it was last week. It was building. No, building is this week. No, benefits is this week. Building was last. That's what it is. Building was last week. I'm a week behind. Um, the lady that was on there last week, she's so cute. She talked about when she had her baby at 19 and she already failed one final because she had the baby, right? This time she couldn't find a babysitter after she had the baby. And I love the way people just run over what these amazing things that they do. She had the baby, couldn't find a babysitter. It was raining outside. She had to take her final. And so she got to the final, asked the professor, can she have her baby in class? She can't find a babysitter. Professor said yes. This woman took her final in a medical course with the baby in one hand and the pen in the other one and passed her class. And kept right on talking. And I'm like, excuse me, do you understand what you just said? Like, do you understand how powerful that is? And you just ran right over that like it was nothing. I mean, her colorful background that she came from, to be a 27-year-old woman with a daughter and you have your own practice as a nurse practitioner, you have your own business with your own office. And she just keep talking. I'm like, do you understand that like you've been doing it for 10 years on your own? And she finally slowed down and realized, wow, I have been doing it, Duran. Yes, you have. That go, go, go mentality, I gotta make it happen, that was taught to us. I get it. Back in the day, it worked. Today, for Duran, I can't speak for nobody else. I have to slow down and recognize these wins that I get if I want somebody else to recognize them. And I'm hearing you all with these wins that y'all have. I mean, spiritually guided. I mean, I think she's been happy all her life because you hear it in her voice. I love
I
it.
think I
No,
don't think
that's a
that.
joke. I don't think so. That's so far from the truth. Durant, it's far from that. I uh, if I may, just I'll
Yeah, go
share
ahead.
just a little bit. Um, no, it may sound like that now because I'm in a happy space now. I'm in a very healing space. There was a lot to heal from. By the time I was 11, I wanted to write a book. I thought I had already lived a whole bunch of craziness because I had, you know. Just so many different experiences. And the first, I want to stay on topic, so I'm gonna just express the first time I realized that choosing me and having self-respect was could change your life, you know. So when I was 15, my mother was and he was not a good person. I still don't think he is, but that's beside the point. Abusive, you know, lots of DV and stuff like that. But I was young, but I still fought, you know, like he's like fighting my mom, but then calling the cops on me when I attacked him to protect my mother. And that happened so many times. By the time I was 15, he went up to her job and, you know, hung her off a cliff while she was pregnant with my brother and by a leg, one leg. And then she called. So I went up there, you know, ready to handle business, if you know what I mean. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so he called the police. They came and they were like, one of you has to go because we've been to your house too many times. Now we're coming here. And I'm like, my mother looks at me and asked me if I was going to behave. If I was going to behave, like I was the one that did something wrong. So I said, no, I'm leaving. And I went to live with my Nana, my father's mother, because my mother in that moment chose him that's the way I saw it. That was my perception of it. And she still to this day would say, no, you left on your own. No, you didn't really give me a choice. You wanted me to stay there and deal with abuse and choose to stay there and just watch you be abused and endure the abuse myself from being exposed to it. And I had every right to choose me. So she still hasn't taken accountability for that, which is part of the reason why we still probably have so many, you know, disagreements. But I chose me at 15 because I knew I was either going to hurt him and be in a lot of trouble and lose my life, or I was going to deal with the abuse and just be tormented by it, or I was going to move on and separate myself from the thing that was harming me. I chose the latter. I lived with my grandmother, had my daughter, moved out of New York, started my life, and started to thrive because of that one decision. My life could have been completely different. And I've experienced a whole bunch of other things that I needed to heal from as well. But that was the first moment that I was old enough to make a choice and have and project my self respect, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was a turning point in my life, you know. And then I had a whole bunch of other ones after that, but a whole bunch before that that attributed to that one decision. So there were two things. I'm not always happy. I still have my moments. I just choose to focus on the positive part, which is the lesson in it. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I don't sound, you know, I sound upbeat because I'm happy to have been capable, you know, having discernment and learning from my lessons, all of
Yes.
them. You know, even the things that I did wrong, you know, taking personal accountability for that and my response to that and just owning it. So I do give myself flowers for that choice, for sure. I give myself
Good.
flowers for that. I praise, I understand, and I
As you
appreciate
should.
me more for choosing me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Yes.
appreciate that. Yeah, so no, I'm not always happy, Duran. I have dealt with a lot of things, but you know, I'm just in a space where I feel like, you know, energetically, I don't want to project energy to other people that is toxic. I want when people communicate me, I want their so that, you know, I go into a lot of spaces where they get like this, and if the comfort level, if the energy is off from one person, it changes the entire energy of the
Mm-hmm.
entire room. So I really appreciate this space because, you know, we talking about self-respect and giving ourselves praise, but also accountability for the things that we've experienced in life. So I look at the lesson because that's the positive thing. I've learned something, I've grown, then decisions and or choose better people to be around, and even make choices to eliminate people who society tells you can't get rid of. No, I can get rid of anyone, meaning because I come first. You know, you got to get to that
Mm-hmm.
point, and that's what I feel like I did for myself in that moment. So I just wanted to share that, because if I didn't have respect for myself, I would have stayed in that house and I would have stopped
Mm-hmm.
being myself and stopped caring or protecting my mother. And I knew that my spirit couldn't be in that space without protecting her. So I knew that that was the only choice I had, you know. So, and I chose it, the right one for me. So I'm thankful for that.
Hey,
Oh, thank you, Asia.
spiritually,
But yeah, and all.
spiritually, I just wanted to say thank you so much for fixing your phone, because your input in this conversation has been such an inspiration. Like, I'm so glad that you didn't drop. you
Oh, I wasn't
you
gonna let
were
her drop. I was gonna
you
blow
were
her up.
Me
vital.
too. Me too. I'm glad I got it together over here.
You were vital to this conversation. I learned a lot from you. I mean, I love the way you think. I love the way, you articulate things. It's so beautiful. And so I just wanted to say that. And I don't know who has blessed us while we've been up here, because wasn't paying attention, but somebody has been gifting us like crazy. So whoever that was, I
That was
just
the
want.
rain.
Oh, hey, Duran, that was so kind of you, because I'm just like, where the heck them coins came from? So,
I mean, you got to give them where they go.
that's so.
I mean, I'm going to do it tomorrow. I've been saying I'm going to do this, but I got to do it tomorrow. When we want to make a change, we have to be the changing agent. You all are giving me the information to be a changing agent. I have to put it out there. I can't sit on it anymore. I'm sitting on 3 months of amazing lives that people have participated in, and I just got to buckle down. I'm already done for next month. Next month videos are done. The stuff is written up for next month. It's pretty much the video just needs some text in them. I pretty much laid them out, put the people in them, made the music, and everything is already done for those now. So I'm like, I need 2 days away from work because I realize I'm an old man at work, so I have a whole different way to look at work now. So I just took 2 days off. My daughter's here on vacation for spring break, and taking time out for me is actually blessing other people. That's my thing. That's one of the biggest ways I take time out for myself. And this one here, there are some great ones, but this one here I've enjoyed the most because what I've been hearing, and Asia gonna get me for this one, you all been having self-respect for yourself at a young age. Have you had it every waking moment? Probably not. I don't think any of us done that. But there were times when you were younger that you all put yourself first and made that self-respect. And I love that because for someone like me, who's a professional, put Duran down, I started realizing I had self-respect. When I say spiritually guided has been happy for a long time, what I mean by that, and she said it out loud so I can use what she said, she chose the high road versus the low road. She chose to be happy. You, I've said this a couple of times on here, not on this one, but more so on the men. I was blessed that neither one of my parents wanted me, but I had a sister that loved me. And so, with having that blessing, I decided at 9 years old, well, you know what? I'm gonna be a comedian and make everybody laugh and do this and that. I'm not gonna be sad. That's what I chose to do in my life. And I'm so happy I did because that participated in who I am today. And that's part of my personality. The reason why I love so hard and I respect people so hard and I want to see people grow and be so beautiful, because that is not what I saw growing up. And I appreciate it not seeing it. That's why I'm so passionate about it today. And I love that fact. because everybody can't. If you look at it, before TikTok, I don't know about you all, how many people were amazing lovers like you that were around you? I was lonely.
Yeah.
But since I've been on TikTok, I'm like, oh my God, there's so many amazing people who are full of love. I didn't know y'all existed.
And I mean, I I don't see it often still. Like, of course, here, like even spiritually, we're saying how if one person's energy is off and alive, it just throws off the whole room.
Mm-hmm.
I still put myself in those positions often. It's not because I don't like myself, but I think that sometimes my perspective does change hearts. It might not on the same day, but I've had people, DM me after the fact, like, man, I never thought about it. It's not a gender thing. This is much deeper, or this is systematic, or whatever. So I do think that there are a lot of people like us. It's just they haven't had the right conversation. They haven't had the right that
Mm-hmm.
TikTok doesn't promote this type of live, and I'm gonna just keep it honest with y'all. TikTok will never make this type of
It
live
doesn't.
hit 300, 400, 500 people. The type of lives that you have to go into are the ones that are pretty much hate, hate back and forth, looking for somebody to blame, drama, controversy, whatever. And that's where I place myself. So some people might, click on my name and see me in a live, and they like, now why was she being here talking to some passport bros? But it's not that I'm, it's not that I'm one of their biggest fans, but it's just like, hey, here's just another perspective for you to think about. Here's just something else. I'm just giving you something to think about. I'm not trying to change you. I ain't trying to tell you don't go over the seas and get what you want. I just want you to think about this. I just want you to consider this. So all of the lives that get viral are the ones that should be banned, but they won't be. This kind, um,
Right.
positivity does not attract. So I'm not trying to say that you should give up what you're doing at all. Please don't think that I'm saying that. I'm just letting you know that whoever does come into these lives will take whatever we're getting filled with, and we will spread it amongst the app, because the app will not promote this live because it's so positive.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate that
It,
so much.
it,
Go
It
ahead.
surely won't. And I put myself in those spaces too, Asia. You're not alone, because there might be just 1 to 10 people in that live out of those 350 people that either need to read something that you say in the chat or something that you contribute to the box. So, and that one person being able to reflect a little bit deeper and work through some of their own issues just by being triggered by something that you said is worth it, just so, because we can cleanse our energy, and go into it knowing to protect ourselves energetically before we even contribute as well. So I think that, you're fighting a good fight. I love it. I love to hear it. And at 27, I'm just gonna mirror Duran's of appreciation before, because I was thinking that minutes before he said it aloud. And, I can really appreciate the level of emotional maturity that you have brought to this conversation as a 27-year-old woman. Um, and that's just it. I just want to show a little appreciation for that, because there are so many people you're still engaging in these conversations, even older though. It's not really about age. I think it's about being able to reflect on your life and grow from it,
Mm-hmm.
because you're seeking happiness. You are looking for to get out of this negative environment, and you're doing it with your own energy, and that is power. So I appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate y'all, and I'm still struggling to accept compliments. So, if I sound a little, bear with me.
It's
Still working on that, but I definitely appreciate y'all, and I don't think it's an age thing at all. I think that I just had to stop looking for someone to blame. And I know that we all believe in something different, but I truly hold on to, and I don't want to say my religion, because it's not even. I'm like the furthest thing that a Christian want to see in the Christian community, but I hold on to my relationship with God for
there
sure.
you go.
I hold on to my relationship with God because I was always looking for somebody to blame, and it just kept building up so much hate in me. Like, I can't even describe to y'all the level of hate that was operating in me. Like, y'all hear me today and y'all like, oh, you know, she sound like this, da da da. No. Catch me 7 years ago. Catch me freshly 20. Horrible. Completely horrible. Like, really heavy on wanting to get revenge, wanting people to just fall off the face of the earth because they did me wrong. I was there. So this whole, like, especially, you know, people want to talk about, you know, C-19, the pandemic being the worst thing that happened. For me, it sat me down. I had no choice but to face myself. That isolation for me was just so brutal. I could barely get out of bed some days. I think I was in the bed for like 2 months straight at one point. Like, I was so broken by just how messed up I was. And I'm so grateful looking back. I'm so grateful for that time period of being on lockdown, because I would probably still be, you know, a 15-year-old in a 27-year-old's body. I would still probably be that little girl, that broken little girl right now today, if I hadn't taken that moment to really just self-reflect and forgive myself and purge all of that bull, because it was a lot of shit. So, like I said, I'm not one of them cookie cutter Christians. I'm really not even striving to ever be that. But I hold to my relationship with God so strong, because I do not know where I would be, for real, for real.
Mm-hmm. One of the things about the beautiful things in life that we admire is they had to go through some type of pressure to shine afterwards. And as you continually share your story, it makes so much sense, because what you did at a young age, and the decision that you made at a young age preparing you for an amazing life as you continually grow older. But you're going to disrupt just about any live you go into, because they're expecting one thing from about your baby face. They're not expecting you to bring all this maturity in and these thought-provoking words that you have. That's what's awesome about you. Another thing that's awesome about you. I'll say that. I will say that. But I got a fix for TikTok. Is you are totally correct. They don't promote them. They don't know that I know somebody that's wanting. So I'm coming after TikTok in December. What I mean by that is I'm getting ready to create 3 events in TikTok for December. There's a men on Monday, women on Wednesday, and then couples on Thursday. What it is, 10,000 people go live at the same time with the same topic every night. And I'm going to pay for promotions for them, make them promote it too. I have one person waiting on me to let them know how much it's going to cost me. The company's talking about sponsoring it for me. The second part is I get my bonus check at work in September. Guess what? I'm going to spend part of that on it too. So they're going to have to promote it. And when we get 10,000 people to go live with the same, and it's a simple topic, it's super awesome. I can't wait till I put the topic out there. It's going to set up everyone that goes live to change how they do their lives next year. What I mean by change, the conversation should mature the perspective to go in 2024 with a different theme and conversation that they have. So we're going to force the algorithm to fight with us. That's exactly what I'm going to go do. So you're totally correct.
Sounds like a great plan. It's a great plan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. I know people with money too, TikTok.
Because at the very least, if you have that many people, if you have that many people going live on the same topic and it's something that's positive, there's there's so many people that'll be reached regardless of how much they want. It'll change the whole algorithm, at least for a little bit.
The goal is 10,000, get 100 people. That's 1 million lives in 2 hours. It's a small number for TikTok, but that's what it is. Zulu, what's up, fam? And it's going at 8 o'clock, which gives us 5 o'clock on the West Coast. Yep.
Yeah, I love that idea.
Yeah,
this app it's just, we know what it's designed to do. We know we know what it's designed to do, and the only way that I could fight against it was to put myself in those spaces. So,
Mhm.
even with me creating my own space, because I am going to create a new account, and this new account is going to be so raw. Like, I'm not even going to lie to y'all. Y'all probably going to be like, yeah, I'm blocking her. Because I'm going to be talking about a lot of stuff like that.
Why?
Some
As
people
long as you
are,
tell the truth, I
yeah,
support
it's
you.
going to be the truth. But
Okay, I'm good. I'm down.
about things that people are ashamed to bring up from their childhoods, from their current life. You got, you got the conversations happening with the, passport bros, red pill, blue pill, all that good stuff. And the stuff that they're saying is not lies. The stuff that they're saying is not lies, but they're not ever talking about the root cause of these issues. I'll tell you why I became disrespectful with my own body. I'll tell you why some men become hypersexual because they were groped by grown women at the age of 12 and 13. We can talk about why it's hard for women to be in friendships with other women because we weren't taught how to respect other women because our mamas was gossiping about our business to other family members. We're going to talk about all of that. So the stuff that they're
Mm.
saying is not lies, but it's not a root. They're not giving a solution, and they're not talking about the root cause. So this platform that I have now, it's just a personal account. That platform is going to be just very uncomfortable for a lot of people. And I'm now just I'm past the point of going into other people's spaces and trying to convert it. I'm gonna create one where people can run to. I want y'all to run away from them spaces. I'm still gonna put myself in the line of fire every now and then, but I really want to give some people a place to run to for the answers because we're not
Mm.
getting them sitting on those lives talking about all women do this and all men do this because all men don't do this and all women don't do this. But we can talk about the fact that
Exactly.
we could talk about the
Mhm.
fact that you can meet the same type of spirit in each person until you finally learn the lesson. And that don't have to be religion
Mm.
related. It don't matter what you believe in. You could say the universe, you could say karma, whatever the case may be. They all trying to teach you the same lesson. Get the lesson
Mhm.
so you don't have to keep meeting it in the different people in the different phases of your life. So we're gonna talk about all of that on this new platform.
We need it. Put it like this: you got your
Sounds
platform,
wonderful.
and you got a studio. If you want to do it on anything else, you got access to a studio in Florida.
I
Uh,
appreciate it.
and so it's that, but that's what it's about. A black man inspired said it too. He said it's hard to find these places. So now I'm thinking. So the goal is to start promoting this, get the websites, get everybody information that wants to do it during the summertime. Do a 1 to 2 day class over how we're going to do this, and then we continually meet up until December. The biggest part is for the ones that do as many months as they can with me going through self, that's what's going to prepare you for the question in December. Because as you continually do these lives with me, well, with us on self, and then I'm gonna start posting these tomorrow. That's my project tomorrow, to get all these posted, as many as I can. This is gonna be the first one that I post, but to get as many as I can posted on my YouTube account and get them out there, and so people can go back and read up on the, well, listen, on those to get the information, so that when December comes, it's 10,000 places. The deal is, if we get 100 people and 50 people in each one of those have 1,000, we got 60,000 that can go live that's positive now throughout the week. Now we're creating that space for a positive space for more people to come to. Thank you, T. Marie. It's so many of us. My poor lady friend, I be putting her to work in helping me do this, because I believe it can be done, and a lot of us want this. And so, Asia, you start your page. I started this one. I took everything off of my personal page. I can pull up my personal page and go live now, and I have 50 to 60 people in there. To get them to come over here, I have no idea why they want, but I'm not worried about that. What I do is, for the ones that do come over here, we have a great time. We have the best time over here.
Yeah, I said that. I said I ain't gonna worry about transferring nobody. New people will show up. Whoever
Mm-hmm.
whoever I'm supposed to serve will come. So that's just my mindset now. I
Yep.
ain't even worried about it.
That's it. You let me know. I'm a technical logical genius, and I'm not joking at all. I am not joking. I do it all the way up into hacking. I do graphics. I do video. I do all of it. I don't do music. I know where to get the music at. Marketing. I ran a very successful consulting firm and ran a very successful university. Like IT is my life. That is my lifestyle. So whatever I can do to help you, Asia, you let me know and I got you. And that's the thing is all of us coming together. So I'm gonna start working on that piece. Like I say, these are my days off. I'm gonna spend time with baby girl now and take them to go do something. But I'm gonna work on these here and start getting them out, getting more and more of them out, and then also um, start doing these promotions to get this information out there. And that's right, networking it. I'm not the greatest at networking. I suck at networking. That is not my thing. I'm more of a visionary. I'm a visionary and a creator. What I mean by creator, I see something and I go make it. To market it, horrible. Horrible. I have so many amazing products that will sit down. That won't make it off the shelf because marketing is not my thing. But to speak and be a visionary and make a vision plain, I can do that all day long.
Well, I will just say that your lives definitely fill me up every time. I was missing them a couple times in a row, and I was like, yeah, you know what? You ain't gonna get me again. I had to set me an alarm. I was 6:59. I said, yep, let me see. Did it go live? Yep, all right. So
That
I
is
was
so
ready.
awesome.
But
Thank you so much.
it definitely fills me up, and this I'm actually in a period of isolation voluntarily, in a period of isolation right now. But I really feel like I don't know. I feel like people would probably not even have to isolate as much if they had a safe space like this to actually go and heal. I don't
Wow.
think we need to seclude ourselves as much.
Thank you. It pulled me out of mine.
There's a
I
lot
live
of
in a
mirrors
bubble.
in here. There's a lot of mirrors.
Yep.
There's a lot of mirrors in here.
Yep.
For
I'm with you, Asia. Like
Um,
I'm in a
I
period of isolation as well. I am happily
I'm
single and celibate, and time with self is super important for me. So
yep.
That's
I'm
beautiful. I
sorry,
love
Jordan.
that. Oh no. You're awesome. I love it because you're showing your self-respect for yourself.
Hmm.
That thing is so powerful. And so now that we have this self-respect for ourselves, this love is going to kick in. Um, the love is going to kick in next month. It's going to kick in. D D is trying to come up. The women. It's only women today. It's only women today.
Well, we done now.
Tomorrow, huh?
Wow.
I know we put our 2 hours in, but I still really try to dedicate these two to the women, and then the men learn, and then we all come back together tomorrow. Same topics. It's just that now, if a man has a question, he can ask a woman. If a woman has a question, she can ask the man. And
Yeah,
then,
I'm gonna be back tomorrow for sure.
yeah, it's what it is. And somebody has brought this to my attention. I wasn't even paying attention to it. But men do great on Monday. Women do Wednesday great on Wednesday, but we're separated. Let's show people how we can do this consistently every week. We come in the box together and celebrate each other.
Yeah.
D, the next one is tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, the same time. Um, that's a VV Trey. I'm going to work my best at remembering Monday to shoot you the information so that you can come to Men's Monday. This man right here is awesome. He came in last Thursday. No, was it last Monday and blessed us? Last Monday and blessed us. And so it's
Yeah,
great. It's great to see
I've
him
been
again.
coming out lives on Mondays too. I've
He,
hopped in, not hopped in the box, but I've been peeping the scene, listening in. I think it's healthy for me to hear, like earlier Crown was talking about having her afflictions with men. I think it's healthy for us to hear men speak, in a group without tearing us down, or
mhm.
when they do speak, if it is some problem they have with women, they're not making it about us. It's about an experience they had. So I definitely peep the scene all the time when I can on the Mondays. And that's why I said these lives really fill me up, even if I'm not up here.
I appreciate that. Y'all just don't know how much y'all
You
tickle
know,
my heart.
I think
No, go ahead.
yeah, no, it's definitely appreciated to see spaces that allow for people to express themselves. Like I could listen to a live with just a bunch of men talking, as long as they're not like bashing other people. If they're in a learning space, I would listen, because I've been watching my whole life. That's how we learn, right, from each other's experiences, and handled it, how they approached it, what worked for them, what didn't work for them, and just understanding people better. I think if people understood each other better, we would treat each other better. And the only way to do that is to listen to each other and to learn about each other. So I definitely appreciate these spaces, because this is how we learn. This is how we grow. This is how we heal. And, you know, I don't think just because men can't come in the box, they can, still participate in the chat. They're
They
obviously
do.
welcome in that space, but you're not calling them up. So I mean, I just think that healthy conversations like these are what is going to help raise the general vibration of people, and being able to be in a space where people respect each other and respect the differences, because Asia is religious and I'm not, nor have I ever been, but we can congregate, communicate with each other in a healthy space to each other. We don't have to believe the same exact thing. We can still learn from each other. I love speaking with religious people who don't just quote the Bible, because the Bible is not you. I don't want to talk to the Bible. I want to talk to the person. That's why I love this space. Your life is your Bible, right? So that goes hand in hand with that. Our life experiences are what makes us who we are. It's how we grow, it's how we learn, it's how we heal, it's how we evolve into better people.
Yeah, I totally
But
agree.
some of
Now,
us just stuck. So having more spaces like this is helpful. Yeah. I'm sorry, Darren. What
yeah,
was
that's
that?
what it is. No, I'm gonna say I do this every week, and I say it every time. I just host a space. The space is made by everyone that's in the chat and that's in the box. It's like everyone has the opportunity. They have the opportunity to experience at least 6 Bibles at the same time. We are literally multitasking and learning at minimum 6 Bibles. I'm not even bringing up the ones that participate in the chat and stuff like that. It goes up from there. It's only made by the people. I was sharing with she won't let me say her name, y'all, because she's shy. She don't think she that shy. But I was sharing with her earlier, my lady friend, that I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but I shared it a couple of times. I did 20 years in the pulpit, and it bothered me because I can look out and see people not getting it, but I still had 15, 20 minutes to preach. And that's what I was doing, just preaching. I wasn't changing that many lives. And that bothered me. Here, I don't have to push one book on nobody. I get a chance to sit back and encourage people to talk about their book. To me, that's more powerful.
It is, and I appreciate that because, like I said, I'm like the furthest type of Christian that Christians want to see. But it's not because I'm just like, I don't care what y'all gotta say. If the church is more so the church, I don't feel like it's really handling us well. So, um, me, like when I speak about experiences and I speak my truth, it's not that I'm trying to twist the Bible. It's not. Honestly, I really don't know it like I'm supposed to as a Christian. I'll just be honest. I just be kind of winging it with life and prayer. But when I speak about my experiences, some of this stuff is not in the Bible, and I know they say that's the book that's supposed to, you know, tell you every single thing that you'll ever go through. But some of this stuff, I don't see sleep paralysis, in the Bible. I don't see, some stuff I just don't see it. So I'm not gonna push that off on nobody. It's like this is all you need. Like I'm pretty sure that's probably what I'm supposed to do, but that's not all I need. Like I've had to find out information through, um like books that they would consider witchcraft or occult books or whatever. I've had to do some deep diving to see like what's going on in my life. Like what is this? What am I experiencing? Why am I seeing things? I don't want to be in nobody's mental hospital. But if I go by the Bible, ain't none of that in there. So I would have to check myself into somebody's institution. So that's why it's like, I appreciate the way you even word that. Like it's 6 Bibles. Like we are, our story, our life is our Bible. I appreciate that because that's how I truly feel. When I'm speaking to people, they be like, how you cussing? You a Christian. Girl, God hear me say shit all the time. But it's not even about that. It's about if I show up like this, my raw, authentic self, I'm able to help people who would never go to church a day in their life. And I'm not out here like, oh yeah, please get your life together before you go to hell. Baby, I might be going too. I don't know what, I don't know how to get it into heaven. But what I do know how to do is impact people while I'm here. So
Ooh, okay,
I
yeah, I'm gonna chop that up and use that one right there too. Just so
I
you know.
love
Keep
what you're
going.
doing. Yeah, I just love what you're doing.
Thank you. Y'all encourage me so much. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it, and I super duper appreciate it. It's when I look at it, it's scary. I'm just being so honest with you. There are not too many things in life I'm afraid of, but no, that's scary and afraid of nothing. That's scary, but it's scary to the movement that we are doing because we're changing the dynamics of the way people think. All of us are. Every time we open up our mouth and share our stories, we're changing the way the dynamics of people think. And what we're doing, we're making miserable people more lonelier, and they're not going to like that because we're taking people away from them that they've been holding on to. And those people realize that, you know what, I have other options in my life, and the miserable people are not going to like that, which is okay with me. I'm perfectly cool with that. And so, but I'm gonna close this one down. I typically do about 2 hours to be respectful for everybody's time. And if you want to do anything else, uh, y'all made this awesome tonight. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, y'all made this awesome. And that's why I look forward to every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I may do Family Friday. I gotta ask my daughter because I think she want to go live with me on Friday. On Friday, so I gotta ask her. And if she does, I'll do Family Fridays this Friday. I'll do it just for her and see. But typically, Family Friday, what the goal on that one is, we go live, but we also bring out if we have family with us, we bring them with us, right? Like my son, when he used to do, people ask him questions, and he tell the truth. That little guy, he expressed himself in such a major way. But like I say, the goal is here is to show TikTok from every aspect that there are happy people out here. And the more of us continually learn this and grow and spread it, we're getting everybody together. Now it's time, I guess, to document this thing and put it together. So yeah, I think I built some stuff today. Okay. I think I believe I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I talk to myself a lot out loud, y'all. But thank y'all. I appreciate you, Spiritually Guided. I appreciate you, Asia. I appreciate Crown. I appreciate Queen. Let me tell you, I have some amazing moderators. They would show up and just hang out and moderate. The most amazing individuals. And just let everybody know, I appreciate everyone. Everyone that participated tonight, that came up in the box, did not come up in the box, but you participated and listened. If you walked away differently than the way you came in, you made my night. Y'all have a good one, and I will see everyone tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Alrighty. Y'all have a good night.
All right. Thank y'all
Thank
so
you.
much. Okay.
All right. Have a good evening.
Okay.